Hey everyone, I guess, is it on? Okay. I just want to get on here real quick and go over a few things that I've done. I've already put everything on the website. I'm going to give a minute for some of y'all to jump on. So, I have a new phone holder for my camera, so it's a little crooked. So, anyway, hello. I am waiting for a few people to get on. I've got, just want to give y'all a quick overview of what's going on with the COVID-19 best practices. I'm not going to go over everything in detail. Everything is already up on the website on the, it's texastradedays.com, and then you can click over under the vendor info section you see on the home page in the menu. It says if you hover over it or click on it, a drop down menu should be there, and then you can see the 2020 vendor agreement. Click that link. The link is also on the vendor information page as well. Click that link and you'll find all of this in PDF format, just like you do with the 2020 vendor policy and rental agreement. Okay, y'all? So that's where all of this is. They're all separate PDFs. They're in addition to the vendor policy. That's why it's called an addendum. So it all goes together, but they're separate. All right, y'all? Hey, Monique, if y'all want to say hi, say hi. It's good seeing all of you again, even though it is Facebook Live. But anyway, I'm excited to be able to reopen our markets coming on May 24th at the Kingwood Town Center Park. It's 12 to noon. Vendor spaces are still available. We've got our best practices here so that we can create and maintain a safe and healthy environment. It is outdoors at a park. Okay, so this is great news. I'm real excited about all of this, and I'm ready to get back to work, as I'm sure many of you already are. Okay, so let me go over real quick what we've got. So this right here, it may be backwards. Sorry if it is. And by the way, I'll take questions at the end too. So if you have questions, I'll read through the comments and answer them at the end. So if you can read this, it is a little backwards, but this is the COVID-19 best practices addendum to the policy. The PDF is on the vendor agreement page of the website. So you can definitely review all of this. This is for has information for what you do, what I do, things like that. Help keep us on the same page when we do open up for our market on the 24th and going forward. There are some changes to some policy sections, but they're minimal at that. There are some important things, like for those of you that are clothing vendors, we are not doing dressing rooms, so it's highly discourage customers and just flat don't allow customers to try on clothes. Okay, y'all? It's for your safety and theirs. And so that is a change. You'll see that under the market policy changes sections. Also, Texas Cottage Food Law, canning, honey, and farm vendors. There are some changes with you guys there as well. Just like with the dressing rooms, no samples. All samples, regardless if you have a temporary food establishment permit or a manufacturing license, all food samples must be pre-packaged and labeled according to the Texas Cottage Food Law. No exceptions. No open samples, no nothing like that. Even if you have a sneeze card, you use single-use utensils and things like that for samples, none of that. They must be pre-packaged and labeled according to the Texas Cottage Food Law. Okay, so that's also one important change in the policy as well. That's already been in policy, but this is regardless if there is a temporary food establishment permit or a manufacturer's license. That's the major change. Otherwise, it's the same. Also, grab and goes, you know, kind of things that Like whenever, like you're doing a transaction and you're handing items to a customer and they take it from you, don't do that anymore. That's what the grab and go means. It's just set the item, set the package that you've already, put together and everything, set it on the counter or on the table, and then let them grab it, okay? So that's what that means. Don't let them grab it from you and go, okay? So there are some things like that. Vendor space design, we are minimizing the way we're going to design the booth spaces. So no decorations, no side walls. We want adequate airflow. We also do not want to use tablecloths and fabrics and things like that. So just keep all that behind and cheer and say, yay, that's one less thing I have to put up. So we want bare tables, and just make sure that your area is super, super, super neat. And things like that. If you don't have to have boxes and things under your tables or in your booth, keep them in your vehicles, okay? So all of that's being addressed in this best practices addendum. Vendor trash, I'm going to be real hard on about vendor trash going forward. Most everybody's real good, but I'm always having to take out overfilled trash receptacles at the venues. I'm going to be real hard about that. So be sure to bring your trash bags and your own trash can so you keep all your trash contained. Now at Kingwood, there is a dumpster that we can use. So take your trash to that dumpster that sits right behind State Farm. So otherwise, you got to take your trash with you, because I've got to handle the trash with the at the venue and with the customers and everything. I don't need to be handling your trash alone, okay, as well. So that's hundreds of people and everything, and so that's going to be putting me at risk. And of course, I've got parents that are senior citizens as well. So please, please, please do your part and take care of your own trash. I have all that outlined here in the best practices addendum as well. So please be sure to review that. We've got some differences in market operations. Senior hour is going to be the first hour of the market. So if we're at Kingwood's 12 to 4, Pasadena's 12 to 4. So the first hour, the 12 to 1 o'clock hour, is going to be reserved for senior citizens and those that are at risk. I detailed that here. Brenham is 11 to 4, and that first hour, 11 to noon, is also going to be that senior hour as well. Our fairground markets do not start up until August, but I do expect to still be running on this plan unless things change, okay? But of course, I'll let y'all know about any changes going forward, okay? Also, curbside pickup. Going to designate certain areas of the market area as curbside pickup. So if any of you want to do that, if you want to take your online orders and then have them call or text you directly upon their arrival, and then you can deliver to their car, you're more than welcome to do that. I'm going to have set aside areas there at each market for customers to do that. Do not park in those areas, please. And at Kingwood, I'm going to update the market day pages as well on the website. I haven't done that yet. I'm going to be doing that this evening before I send out emails to everybody about the updates for May 24th in Kingwood. But for like Kingwood, no curbside parking. You can unload and you can load from there, but don't park on the curbside if you don't have a handicap placard, handicap plates on your vehicle, or the DV, disabled veteran plates, okay? And those are the plates where the license number starts with DV, okay? If you don't have any of those, don't remain parked on the curb. Curbside pickup is going to be location for Kingwood. It's going to be on the curb at the flagpoles, okay? It'd be easy for everybody to get to, and great for them to get in and out of, okay? Everybody knows where it is. I'll have other designated areas at Brenham and Pasadena too. All that's going to be updated on the vendor information page, market day info pages on the website. So we're going to talk about, we're going to maintain 6-foot social distancing throughout the market. I talk about that. Booths and tents need to be at least 6 feet away from each other. We're not going to set up right next to each other. And then masks and face coverings are recommended for everybody. That's me, that's y'all, it's customers. They're all recommended. It's not required unless you cannot maintain that 6-foot distance, okay? So if you're prolonged working with a customer, you know, you need to put your mask on. So be sure to bring all of that. Gloves are going to be used as well by everybody. So be sure to get your hands on some gloves. Again, like I said before, and in the preliminary best practices that I had up, that I do have some supplies, but they're only for backup, okay? So if you can't find any, I have a little bit. You run out, I have a little bit. I don't have everything, you know, enough to supply everybody with everything, okay? But I can help fill in where you guys can't do it. But please make every effort to get everything you need and to do it safely, and get your customers to do it too. So we have all that outlined here as well. Of course, avoid touching your face. Cough and sneeze etiquette's in here as well. Are also setting up a designated isolation area, and that is going to be in cars. So if you come down with an illness and you're feeling ill and you're at the market and you've already signed that saying that, you know, I'm doing okay, I'm not showing any signs, I haven't showed signs, I haven't been around anybody showing signs the last 14 days, I haven't, you know, I'm not currently this way. But if you come down with something, whether it's COVID-like or any illness, you get too hot, anything like that, we need to be extra vigilant, okay? So we have self-isolating areas, and I've designated that as your cars. So even with me, if I feel ill, I'm going to self-isolate myself in my vehicle, okay? And then notify, of course, I would notify me, but I would have to write that down, make, you know, all the information and everything. We'll go over that in just a second. And then all of that. So you're going to remove yourself from the market. If you've got help, bring help with you. So if you become ill, you're not stranded for a while, okay? So you're going to self-isolate immediately in your car. You're going to call or text me, let me know. And then there's an email that you can send me the information that you have, just in case if you do test positive for COVID-19 or anybody tests positive with COVID-19, that information can help with tracing if I or anybody gets contacted to try to trace who you've been in contact with, okay? We've got to take all this very seriously, and it's going to have to take all of us to make sure that this is done right, okay? So definitely go self-isolate. If you're ill for any reason, go self-isolate in your car and let me know. So we've got that. And then, and that's going to be for customers too. If customers feel ill, you know, you're not sure what's going on, tell them go sit in their car with their windows up, AC on, you know, close the doors, and then let me know, okay? And then I have cleaning and disinfecting procedures for vendors, okay? And it's not a whole lot, but it is a few extra steps that we do need to consider doing, or need to do, it's required to do for us to open, okay? So we need to be vigilant about doing that. It's a few extra things. That's why it's like, don't worry about the decorations, don't worry about the tablecloths, and anything that you do not need to absolutely have at your booth, keep them in your car, because that's one less thing to clean, okay? So I have that down for services, and then for your hands, and then the kind of supplies that you need and that you're responsible for bringing and things. Also, you want to reduce customer contact points as much as possible. For those of you that, you know, do signatures and things like that on your phone, I do not recommend foregoing signatures, okay? Just make sure you clean and sanitize your devices before or in between customers, before and after they do that, okay? It's one extra step, but not a big deal. I do not recommend forgetting about, not letting them sign for your transactions. You still want to protect yourself against any fraud, okay? And fraud claims and things like that. So always have them sign. Just take that extra step and clean your devices. Also, the glove issue, you should be able to still sign with a glove on, so that shouldn't be an issue, but double check all of that and everything. And the gloves should not be latex gloves because of allergies, all right? So you can use the poly gloves, you can use the nitrate gloves, you know, and you can use the vinyl gloves, okay? But I don't recommend latex gloves because there is a latex allergy. And then vendor supplies, I go over that real quickly in here as well. And then a quick brief of how to clean services. Cleaning is different than disinfecting, and disinfecting is different than sanitizing. So that briefly goes over that. All of this is put together from resources from the CDC, the WHO, the state guidance, and Governor Abbott's manual for retail opening, as well as a legal resource that I received whenever I attended the webinar through the IFEA that we are members of. So all of that is kind of everything that applies to us is in this best practices document, okay? Also, my contact information is on here too, so it's a quick reference. And then, of course, I also have too the duties that I need to do in order to sanitize the venue, okay? So I've got other contact points and stuff like that to do. I also will have the TXTD table set up, if not the booth set up. So I'll have to be cleaning that as well as other contact points that are in the venue as well. Everything from light switches to faucets and things like that. So it's some work for us, but you know, we can get through it, and it's going to be good. It's going to be fine as long as we get to open. This is a small price to pay, y'all. And so anyway, so I've got all of that. Also, there's going to be a vendor screening. I'm going to go over that real quickly too here in a moment. And that's going to be for all of us, okay, myself included. And then, of course, hand washing and sanitizing stations. I will have a portable. It'll be rough, but it will work. It will do the job. Hand washing station at the TXTD table, and then, of course, some sanitizer there as well for your use and for customer use as well. So, and then I also want to say that I do have here that I may, it depends on how the outcome is with the customers, I may or may not have to control access to the market area. So I may end up having to control that. And I also have emergency procedures for just in case how to evacuate customers and us during these times too, if something were to happen. So I've got a quick policy in here for that as well. So that's the end of the COVID-19 best practices. All these references and the links, they're clickable links on the electronic PDF version. These are all the resources and citation links that I've used to help put this together, as well as these others, okay? So, but that's it. That's a quick rundown with that. You can thoroughly look at it and review it and save it for your records, even print it out on the 2020 vendor agreement page of the website. All right, so we're going to go on into the staff and vendor COVID-19 symptom checker and certification document. This is an extra thing we're going to sign. You know how most of us are used to signing for the vendor policy and agreement upon check-in. Let me know that you're there and all of that, okay? Well, this is one extra thing for all of us, including me, to sign. So we're going to certify that we do not exhibit any of these symptoms, and we have not in the last 14 days, nor are we currently around anybody with these symptoms, nor have we been around them in the last 14 days, okay? So that's what this is about, and this will be done for every market going forward, okay? And so anyway, this information is from the CDC specifically. I copied and pasted it and put it in a nice little format for us, okay? And then here's the log. That's what it looks like. Again, it may be backwards because I'm in selfie mode, but that's the way it is. You will date, put the time we're signing in, and we're going to print our name and we're going to put our signature there, okay? This is our certification for all of that, okay? So, and then all of this goes in my official records, all right? So if we get contacted, then I have these documents to present to them, okay? And then once it's complete, then I also will certify that I have done this for all of you as well, okay? All right, so I also have for all of you, and again, this is on the 2020 vendor agreement page of the website. You can get to it from the vendor information page of the website. This is the vendor cleaning and disinfecting checklist and log. What this does, and this is for y'all to use. It's going to help aid you in our process while we're working. It's a few extra things that we're not used to thinking about when we're working a market, so this is supposed to help you. I have one for myself too. I'll show you that here in a minute. But yeah, so this is going to help you, and it's also going to create a record of when you've cleaned. This is a CYA for you, okay? So you're going to want to complete this. You're going to want to complete the log. If some of y'all are familiar, you may see those cleaning logs in the restrooms at, like, you know, fast food places and restaurants and all. That's pretty much what this is. Okay, so you're going to create one of those logs for you in your cleaning schedule, okay, and what you've done. This is going to be a CYA for you in case you ever need it. You want to make sure you keep this document close to you and complete it as thoroughly as possible, all right? So when it comes to supplies and everything, it's also from the best practices addendum. So we're going to have sections here, kind of remind you what kind of supplies and which ones did you bring. If you have extras, there's room for that to add. And then, excuse me, and then recommendation of things you minimally need to tackle and clean and disinfect throughout market, okay? And so that's gonna give you a little checklist, and you can also make your notes saying, okay, I need to bring this, I don't need to bring that, or maybe I should clean this. You know, this item was really touched by a lot of customers, so you can make your notes in this section like that, okay? And amend this however you want. Don't take away from it, but just add to it, okay? And then there's your log, okay? So that's how that works. So feel free to download and print these up and use them wherever you go. So whether it's our market or another market, use this wherever you go. Just make sure that you change and you add that other market's information here, because we're not going to have those dates and those locations on our records, all right? So you want to make your notes, all right? But this is a good CYA for you, for us. This is a requirement for us. And of course, it's good for you to take with you any other event that you may do going forward. Okay. Symptom checker. I'm getting ahead of I put things in the wrong spot. Okay. And then I have the same thing for staff. This means me. So same thing here, okay? It's got the list of supplies. It's got the items that I should be going over when and where and how, and different areas of the venue that we may be using or have access to. So I've got a little bit more for you, and of course I also have my notes section as well. And then I have my log, okay? My log is at least 2 pages long because I have way more stuff to do. But anyway, I have the same thing. I'm going to be doing the same thing as y'all. So what I've done is I think some of y'all have seen, I have posted in some signage in the group already. The green sign, I'm going to walk around with it as a cleaning reminder, and I'm going to make my rounds. So every hour I'm going to make my rounds with that green cleaning sign as a reminder, hey, it's time to clean. All right, so I'll do that. I'll do my best to help remind y'all and work with y'all, you know, and all of that too. It's a little different. It's a few extra steps, and I know when we get busy, we're not going to think about it. So I'll be glad to do some extra effort. So whenever I go make my rounds to clean, I'll make my rounds and remind y'all with that green sign, reminding y'all to clean, okay? So I also have other signs too. Some of y'all have seen. I'm going to have those at the table or booth. Feel free to bring any of your own signs. I do have some posters here, and they are also on the 2020 vendor agreement page of the website. You can get to it from the vendor information page. But I have these up there as well. You can download and print them as well and tape them up on your tents if you want. It's always strongly encouraged by the international festivals and Events Association, the Texas Festivals and Events and Association, the Texas Association of Festivals and Events. All three of those entities that we're members of all recommend, including the CDC for mass gathering and large events, and the WHO and everybody recommend signage everywhere in the event area. So anyway, I have these. I'm going to have them up on at my table, my booth, okay? And I also have the same ones. They're from the CDC and the WHO. I have the same ones. All of these are up on the same page, okay? The 2020 vendor agreement page, all right? So we have one here. It's from the World Health Organization. It says, protect yourself and others from getting sick. Wash your hands. So that's one poster. You see that? And then we have a CDC, what to do if you are sick with the 2019 novel coronavirus. A lot of it's repetitive. We all have all the stuff crammed in our face every day, but this is strongly encouraged by everybody, including legal counsel for the event industry, to put signage up and communicate as much as possible to customers and attendees. So there's this one here. And then we have one here. It's from the CDC as well. It says what the public should do. And then there's that one. All these are available on the 2020 vendor agreement page. And then, of course, we have a poster here for Stop the Spread. Okay, feel free to print these out. They don't have to be in color. They can be in black and white, doesn't matter. And then just tape them up on the legs of your tent if you want. So briefly, that's what it is. It's a quick rundown. That's what I have. I'm going to notify our followers on our Facebook page. And tomorrow, I'm going to be a little bit more presentable, a little bit more formal with this. But I'm going to notify them, let them know what our plans are so that we can reassure them and things like that. So I've got a little bit of work to do still with the website to get the market day information pages updated to include curbside, and then updated to direct y'all where not to park at each venue because of the curbside issue. But anyway, other than that, that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments. If you're watching the replay, that's okay. I'll get notifications that you have questions, and I will answer them as much as I can. So I hope this helps explain what I've been doing and what our plans are regarding the opening up during the COVID-19 pandemic. So I'm glad we have this opportunity, but it's a big responsibility and it's going to take teamwork, and I really appreciate everybody. I know we're going to get through this and we're going to do well. And, it seems like a lot, but it's a lot on my end, okay? So it's just, I have to put all this together, and I'm just showing you what all I have done. So it's not a whole lot for y'all. It's just a few extra steps and a couple extra thoughts, but I'll help get you through them, and I'll help remind you. So, but it's going to be good. It's going to be almost business as usual, just with a few extra, public health precautions. That's all. But if that's what it takes for us to open, then I'm happy to do it, and I'm sure y'all are too. So thank you so much. And again, if you have any questions, drop them down in the comment section below, and I'll get to them after the replay. And maybe I can answer questions tomorrow during the live video that I do for our followers and our customers. So I appreciate y'all. Hope y'all have a great evening, and feel free to review and download and start preparing this weekend, and I'll grab all that stuff off the website. It's yours to have. So thank you so much. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.